You know, Dad, he never met a Western or a Louis L'Amour Western that he didn't like. Saved them all anyway.
He's quite a reader. Never even got cable, as far as I know.
What did he do besides read these old Westerns? This place, it's like a goddamn motel.
Our dad, the Shadow Man.
Did you get out to visit him much?
No, well, mostly I call. It just seemed like every time I got here, it would be real edgy. You know, like it was time for me to go 5 minutes after I got here.
I know the deal.
It was easier when Mom was alive. She'd haul out the food, the great common denominator in our family. You know, every damn family conference we ever had, there weren't many, took place in the kitchen. Like, none of us wanted to get that far away from the fridge.
Oh, I wish he had never sold that house. I was never comfortable. It's nice. Oh, look! I have reached the valley of the Earl Stanley Gardeners. Oh, and there must be 50 Perry Masons.
He never was a hobby guy. He didn't golf, he didn't fish, just went to that job and came home.
I don't think we even ever quarreled. I don't remember ever fighting him. He just wouldn't do that.
Well, he sure got plenty mad at me a couple of times. I think my little jaunt to rehab was a little much more.
Yeah, and he was none too happy with me when I dropped out of college. That's one thing I'll give him. He guaranteed that all three of us kids could go to school. Although only Steve took advantage of that.
Took advantage of what?
You were the only one to finish college.
Good thing I did. They had some good shit. Too bad it's all vinyl.
You know, they say vinyl's making a comeback.
Nah, I don't see it. Still, he had some good shit. Steve Bannon.
Why don't you keep that stuff?
Nah, I've got it all on CD. Give it to Goodwill.
Huh, well, I pretty much think that we're going to be giving Dad to Goodwill. This man was living the most Spartan of existences.
He didn't have much, but he didn't want much. George and I used to try to take him to dinner, but it just made us all feel uncomfortable. Did you see the crowd at the funeral home? Could have been more than 12 people there. 3 or 4 from his job at the telephone company. I don't know who the hell the rest of them were.
You know, I don't think that is the only measure of an man.
Well, I wouldn't expect a big crowd of yours either, little boy. You ain't exactly put down, any roots in this weary old world.
You know, I did it my way.
Gosh, shut up, you two. Let's get this stuff sorted into boxes.
Cam, you can't smoke it here.
Is Dad gonna mind? He's dead.
This is one of those smoke-free rental properties. You can't do it.
Steve, I wish you wouldn't lord it over us about the house and staying here and all. We know the conversation, and we know where it goes to. Let's just pack this shit up, go our separate ways like we always do.
Yeah, well, there's a shitload of paperwork for the cemetery, too, but I guess you're just going to leave that up to George and me to do, huh?
Oh, Jesus.
We're used to it. We've been handling that for quite a few years now. With Pam in the nut house and you in jail.
You know, you are not the only responsible party in this family.
Oh, yeah. I've got a wife, I got kids, I have my own business.
You run a fucking tasty taco in Michigan City, Indiana. You smell like a burrito. You are a far-tweeting elephant.
Screw you.
Hey, last one. Nearly missed it. Yeah, this one shoved way in the back of the closet. It rattles.
What is it?
Hi. Well, look at this. It's a lockbox.
I thought you said you had all these papers already.
I thought I did. You mean like a little safe?
It's locked.
It's a lockbox. Here, let me see it. They're impressive. And not bad for a Top Gun taco cart.
Wow. Look at this. It's a hotel key. The old-fashioned kind. Number 148. Palmer House.
Like the Palmer House in Chicago?
Yeah. The Palmer House.
There's an envelope in here too. Lavender. And it smells lavendery too.
Go open it.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on, we've come this far. Open it.
Go ahead, open it.
It's already open. It wasn't in the first place. Oh, wow. Listen to this. And as for me, I have 5 paid holidays beginning August 1 and ending August 5. I have no place to be and nobody who cares where I am. You could say, I'm at loose ends. There's a flower in here too.
Dad had something on the side.
Why do you say that? Well, maybe this was from after Mom died. There's no date.
Well, the hotel key. When was the last time you saw a hotel key like this?
1980. 1980. That's when the first key cards came into play. Wiki says so.
Oh, Jesus.
Look. Here.
Uh-oh.
What in the hell?
It's a champagne.
Well, sure. I don't get it. What would Dad be doing with champagne? Wait, let's get this straight. 1980.
Yeah. Mom died in 83, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well then, Will's right. He did have someone on the side, at least once.
Nah, that's just not Dad.
Well, there's this.
Where's that? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it wasn't like Mom was very romantic or anything.
Oh, no, come on, that's not true. Dad used to give her those different colored panties with the days of the week on them.
Jesus, she hated those panties. She told me so. They're insulting. Do women really need to have the days of the week on their underwear to remember color-coded panties to know which day of the week it is? That was insulting in 1939, for God's sake.
Give the Georgian, she seems to appreciate it.
Okay. At least we can have something to drink.
No, Karen's not supposed to drink. She's an alcoholic.
Oh, she's a fucking pill freak too. Get some glasses.
Left out, cokehead. So who was the woman that was with then, Will?
I don't know. Maybe it was the maid.
We didn't have a maid.
Not that we know about. Okay, here is stud muffin.
Sex machine!
Hey, wait a minute. You remember that lady at the funeral home, the one with the big sunglasses?
The one in the little kind of rain poncho?
Yeah, her.
Yeah, she did vamoose really quick.
Maybe it was her.
Yeah! Oh, like that one night all that time ago in disco days, and then that was it. They swore their love would never be.
Because of Mom.
Maybe she was married too.
You know, I think we're making a little bit more of this than there really was.
Yeah, well, you're the one who always works us up into a frenzy. You remember when we were kids and we had those bunk beds? And of course, you had to have the top bunk. And then you would wait. You would just wait until morning when I was getting out of bed, and then you would jump down on me screaming, "Bombs away over Tokyo!"
Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, it cut down your toe.
What's wrong is it's racist and insulting. And it hurt.
Maybe it was a secretary at the telephone company. You know, they have like a whole pool of them there. And she was writing about vacation time in her note. And it wasn't like she could be called a colleague because it was all guys up there. That office had more balls than the NBA. but
Maybe she didn't work there at all. Maybe Dad met her someplace else.
Maybe we should just call the Palmer House and see if Dad was registered in August.
August of what? I mean, it could have been any one of a dozen years.
It's so confusing. You see what he's doing?
Who?
Dad.
Why?
He's being just like he always was when he was alive. He's being elusive.
Well.
Just can't get close to him. He knows what the secret is, but he's not about to give it up.
Okay. So here's to our parents. May we never actually get together.
Or they us.
I gotta get out of here. I'm a working man.
Are you sure you don't want the record? No, I can't help but feel different about Dad after all this.
Well, how so? I mean, I kind of like it. It gives him a little bit of personality.
Well, maybe for me it was different. I mean, you guys were already out of the house when Dad died. I was just like 10. He really wanted to be a father to me, but he had no idea what to do with a female child. You know, about a year after she died, he decided that he was going to have kids. I'll never forget this. He couldn't find a sitter for me, but at 11, I didn't really feel like I needed one anyway. But he is calling all over hell. And I finally just said, Dad, I will be fine here alone. So he says, okay. And he's hugging me and he's offering not to go. And well, it was hell getting him out the door, but finally he goes. He said, just watch TV, you'll be fine.
So?
So the weekend before, he had taken me to the movies. That was his idea of bonding time. We went to the movies, we were bonding. Really, we just didn't have to talk in that context. But guess what movie he took me to see?
10 Commandments.
No. He took me to Nightmare on Elm Street. Honest! Freddy freaking Krueger! Right there in my face. And that movie sticks with you, does it ever? God. And so there he is, going out the door, and there I am, sitting there all by myself with a head full of Freddy Krueger.
Why didn't you just tell me you were scared?
Didn't want to spoil his date. See, even then, you just couldn't get close to him. You couldn't tell him things. And so I'm just sitting there watching the TV, anything funny or scary. And that old house of ours, the one before, it is getting really creepy. I think about getting a pizza just for the company. And then I think it's probably going to be Freddy Krueger who delivers it. So eventually I can't take it anymore. I have to pee. So I get up from my little sofa fortress that I've made and I go into the bathroom. And I pee. And just as I'm turning to go back to the living room, for some God knows what reason, I look out the window. And guess what?
What?
That son of a bitch is standing out there.
Freddy Krueger.
No, but I do know him. It's Mr. Gadsley, the pharmacist that's always delivering. You know, he's the one that always delivered to Mrs. Pitts across the street whenever her husband wasn't home.
And he'd stay a while.
Yeah.
What the hell was he doing looking in our window?
Branching out.
Well, I don't know, but I saw him, and he saw me, and after that, I didn't see him anymore at all. And he never delivered prescriptions to Mrs. Pitts again, and he just never turned up.
What did you tell Dad?
Nothing. I didn't tell him anything. He never even knew what happened.
Yeah, but why not?
I didn't want to spoil his date.
All right, well, like I said, I've got to get out of here. You two can just puzzle through this throughout the night.
You're the one who needs to be careful. Find somebody. Get angry.
Yeah, I'll do that.
See you, Will.
So, who says?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned Freddy Krueger.
Why's that?
I don't know if I've ever told you this. Oh, hell, I've never told anybody this. But Freddy played a role in my life way early on.
How's that?
Well, back when Steve and I were kids, before you were born, we would drive out to Chicago most weekends and visit Mom's parents there. And we'd drive out in that Bel Air Chevy that we held on to for so long. Yeah. So we'd drive back on Sunday nights, and Steve and I would fall asleep in the back seat. So one night, we're driving, and I'm dreaming. And I am dreaming that I am in the back seat, asleep, dreaming.
You're dreaming about doing what you're actually doing.
Yeah, I guess. So, in the dream, we're pulling into Michigan City, and it's night, and it's misty, it's like a misty rain. And in the dream, I wake up, and I look down the road, and I can see that there's this man standing there. He's got his thumb out, and he's hitching, and he wants the car to stop for him.
This is kind of scary.
Yeah, and so we're getting closer and closer, and I want to speak, but I can't,
Yeah, I know.
So we get closer, and I can see through the dark, through the mist, that I know this man. I know who the hitchhiker is.
Who?
It's Freddy Krueger.
Get out!
It's Freddy Krueger. That is not the strange part.
Stranger than that.
This was years before there was a Freddy Krueger. The movie had not been made yet.
So you were...
Yeah, I knew Freddy Krueger before there was a Freddy Krueger.
Holy crap. Did you tell Dad about this?
It was not the kind of thing you told Dad about.
No, it wasn't.
Maybe that was my problem. I spent most of my life thinking that my dad was going to pull over and stop for Freddy Krueger.
Well, I'll tell you this. He put a roof over my head, and he put up with my shit. And he did all the dad things. And he did something else, too. He saved a little bit of my childhood.
Oh,
Yours, too, and Steve's.
how so?
Do you remember that prayer Mom used to make us say, the "Now I lay me down to sleep" one?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I always got afraid at that part. If I should...
Oh, yeah, if I should die before I wake.
Yeah. He changed it.
He did. Now I lay me down to sleep.
I pray the Lord my soul to keep,
Guard me through the starry night.
and wake me safe
With sunshine bright.
Yeah. That's how we said it. Freddy Krueger, you are shitting me.
No. Serious as a heart attack.